Hello, we're here at Shoe Healer and a customer has sent us by post these shoes. They've sent them back. At some point they've been in the shop, they've had a cover sole and a toe plate fitted to these Horatio apron fronted slip-on shoes. They're absolutely lovely, a lovely shoe. Quite a nice shoe really. And the gentleman said he's from Manchester and he sent them to us, and you can see here, look, on this seam at the top there, where the shoe has been flexing, it's opened out. And what can we do about that? You know, the rest of it is sealed together nice. And you do see this, usually you get a little bit here and a little bit here across the vamp where it flexes and it just pops the top of the seam off. So what can we do? Well, what we shall do is we'll scrape all inside there to get the old glue off. Then we shall glue it up. We shall leave the glue to set. Then we'll take some blunt pliers and we will just squeeze that. If you just come in here now, look, you'll see when we've glued it, we'll just squeeze that together, nip it together and hold it while it sets. Just encourage that to stay together. Will that always fix a problem? No. Eventually you will get a little bit of movement on those seams. It's not a bad thing, but seeing as though this is quite a new shoe for the gentleman, he will be a little bit disappointed. So while this shoe's here, this Horatio shoe, we're having a look round it and just seeing what we think to it. Paul's come over and he's brought me a pair of Cheaneys to compare it with and just see, well, it's a bit unfair because we're on a totally different price level there between the two shoes. I think this shoe, this Horatio, retails round about the £260. Your Cheaneys are going to be more at the £400 mark, I would have thought, without checking. I would have thought. But when we look at this shoe, the leather upper, it feels absolutely fine. It's lovely and it's fully leather lined and it has a suede counter in the back to grip your heel. Full leather insole, and then what it does have is a really soft sock in there with some padding underneath it, quite a lot of padding in that half sock there, so that is going to be really comfortable. When we turn the shoe over, the first thing we sort of notice when we compare it with a top end shoe is the size of the stitching. On the Cheaney we have a lovely delicate stitch. On the Horatio we have a bit of a bigger chunkier stitch. The sole looks to be like the leather's a little bit, it's almost like it's swelled up a little bit. And Paul will say that leather, you can tell that leather, it's okay, but it's not the best. The customer's done exactly right having a cover sole fitted, because when you trim this sole and you try to put a nice edge on it, it's a little bit grainy, it's a little bit loose in the grain, and it wants to fluff up a little bit. So you've really got to work at getting a nice edge on it. Whereas the leather that's used on the Cheaneys, you trim that, you ink it, you buff it, it's beautiful and it comes up really nice. As you would expect on a shoe that is twice the price. But as for the rest of the shoe, it looks like we have a nice leather heel stack in there. I'm not 100% sure without pulling it apart, but it looks really nice. What we do see is from the original finishing, can you see the lines there, the scour lines in the side of that shoe? You wouldn't see that on a Cheaney. It's fine. The heel, look at that heel there, it just looks, we know this is the original heel because it still has a crimping round the edge there, and that heel again just looks a little bit, it's not refined. So the whole shoe for the money is lovely. It's made in Indonesia, we see there, and I think that's what it says there. It's just stamped underneath the front. It's fine. It's a lovely shoe. In fact, it's a good shoe for £260. Not a patch on the Cheaney, but still a good shoe. We'll get that repair done. I think the gentleman's just been a little bit unlucky with this, and hopefully when we've cleaned that out and bonded it, he won't have any more problems with these, and he will get his money's worth out of this shoe. Right, here we are then. So this is that little bit of a job there. We've had the knife in and carefully scraped, without catching any of the stitches in the bottom, scraped either side of that seam. We've then glued it. We've let the glue go off, and then we've warmed it slightly, just so that the glue will take, and then we just squeeze that together. Just squeeze it together with the pliers like that. That's it, and hold it for a few seconds there, like that. And then we take a little bit of crepe, which is fabulous for removing old glue. We'll get all the old glue off, give that a polish up, leave it to set, and hopefully all is well again with that. Fabulous. Okay.